I'm okay with that. I'm not going to be fiddling anymore. For now, I think that's good enough. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to close this for now. I'm happy with that. So the next thing is we have to find a way of getting this into the game. So for that, again, open your third person character and inside your event graph and look for your event begin play. So in event begin play, this is what we have so far. We're creating the HUD widget, we're adding that to viewport, but this is always going to be there. So you can add the code for spawning your weapon in the game after this. All right. So it's simple. Pull out a wire and check for spawn actor from class. Okay. And out here, we just have to look for the class that we just created. That is the weapon class. I believe that is weapon underscore base. Weapon underscore base. Okay, there you go. Okay, so now I want the spawn transform to be, starting off from scratch. I want them all to be zeroed out as soon as it spawns. So what I'm going to do now is I will be adding a make transform node and keep those values at 0 so that it first zeroes them out, and after that I want to attach this to a component. Okay, because I want to attach this to the mesh that I have in my third person character. So I'll say attach to component, and where do I want to attach it to? I want to attach it to the mesh, and I want to attach it to a particular socket because if you recall, we already had this socket. If I go over to my skeleton from here, and this is the socket that we created inside right arm. I'm gonna F2 and copy the name. Okay, I'm gonna F2 copy the name and I'll go back to where it was as animation. Then I'll come back here, I'll paste the name to weapon attach. If you get this name wrong, this is actually a string value, right? It's actually a name. So it's actually a string, essentially a string value. You get this name wrong, and it's never gonna be able to find the perfect socket to attach it to. Right, so once you do that, and that's it, and nothing more required. So I'll just hit compile, and if you look here, you still won't find any weapon because we haven't added that in construction script. Rather, we added that in event graph, and this is all runtime code. So we can come back here and we hit play. Now I can see, actually I don't know what that is. Okay, that's M4A1. All right, I think root component. I think let's see. I think I'll just delete my, let's see, this is weapon base and viewport, that's weapon base, fine. Why was the M4A1 being coming there? Let's see. Character, that's AK-47, skeleton and skeletal meshes. For now, I think I'll just get rid of the M4A1. Okay, I'll just get rid of them. That's okay. Physics asset can also be done with. I'll re-import them later on. For now, I just want the AK-47 to work fine. So I'll go back to my physics assets, weapons, and get rid of M4A1 and the silencer. I'll right click and I'll delete, and I'll get rid of it. And I'll let the, let's see, the weapons, weapon AK-47 textures. I'll keep the texture for M4A1, that's okay. If I hit play now, I still do not see that. I think I have something went wrong here. If I double click on the physics asset, okay, that's loading it up. It's missing bones that skeletal AK-47 needs. They'll be added now. Please save the skeleton. You like to regenerate skeleton, okay, and that's the skeleton that it's regenerated. And let me just go back to my skeleton and I'll go over and I'll double click on that, and that's the skeleton, which is fine. I'll close that and I'll open up my skeletal mesh, weapons, AK-47. Okay, and out here, if I can find that, it's got the AK-47 skeleton. Everything is fine. I'll just save all and I'll look at my blueprints, character, anim BP, and if I look at the skeleton, and if I can take a look at the weapon that is attached only, everything is fine. Let me go back to my weapon base, blueprints, weapons, and weapon base. That's also okay. Now let me open up my third person BP, blueprints, third person character, and this says weapon base underscore BP and spawn transform is 000. Everything is good. Of course, we had forgotten to attach this to the target and compile, and when I hit play, there you go. So now we have a weapon. We are running around with a weapon and it's looking pretty decent. And it is indeed looking like we are holding a weapon and not bad at all. Great progress. It had nothing to do with M4A1. I deleted that for no particular reason, but that's a mistake. And so that was actually the reference that we had forgotten to give it here. So now when you hit play and when you see that, when you look down, you can also see that it's clipping, which is a fix that we have to make. And we also see that, this weapon placement in the left hand, it's holding it in its left hand. It's kind of off, right? So we'll change that. In fact, with this play mode on, just hit Shift F1 and I'll open up my soldier anim BP and I'll go over to my skeleton. I'll rip this apart. Okay, I'll rip this apart and I think I'll just move this around a little bit, and if I can search for the weapon attach, and in fact first let me resize this window properly, and I'll go over and select not this, I'll select animation as idle aiming. Okay, and now if I hit F, and now I can actually change it in real time. And if I think I can change it in real time, yeah. So let's see. I think I'll just move this out here, right? And also move this here so that I can get a better view of both of them. Now I'll just have to move here, and if I see, as you can see that it's actually moving in every direction. All right, that's great. So I think I can move this here a little bit so that it looks like it's holding the weapon, and maybe I can also increase the scale. So right now the scale is, just increase this. It's 0.33, so I'll just increase it to point. It's along the y-x. I'll increase it to 0.35. There you go, or 0.36 even. That's good. And this can be 0.34 and 0.34. And let's see, and maybe a little bit to the right like that, and down a bit. That's good enough, I think. No, think that's good. All right, so I'm gonna hit save and I'll close this, and now I can run around, and I think this still needs to be changed because it's not perfect and it's actually holding it ahead of the magazine, but you get the idea. And also it needs to be rotated a little bit. So I think I can go back there, and I'll go back to my NMBP skeleton and rip this apart and look for the skeleton weapon attach. Go there and first preview the animation, change the preview animation to idle aiming. Okay, and then move here and maybe give me a better room to work with like this. That's good enough. And I'll say F so that I can see it better, and I'll move. I think I'll first move this ahead so that it goes ahead of like this. This has to come here. That's the hand, and make me move up a bit like that. So that's perfect. No, that's perfect. It's kind of okay. And then maybe rotate it a little bit like this and bring it in again towards the right. All right, and now just save that, and I can close it. And now if I walk around, again, not perfect. We'll come back to this, but it's great. It's looking good now. Little better than before. If I look down, we just have to fix the clipping issue, and we'll fix that. Okay. So for the clipping to work fine, so you have to go to the project settings. So if project settings is not open, go to settings and then click on project settings. It will come up here, and then look for general settings, and inside the general settings here you have something called the near clip plane. So the near clip plane is something which, if when it says 10, which is like pretty big, so it says distance of the camera's near clipping plane. So within that distance, it's going to be clipping everything. So if you lower that distance, it's not going to clip everything out there, and that's because this is more of an optimization trick to not, to not be able to render things in the scene when the camera is too near to certain objects. So if you bring this down to 1, okay, you don't have to save the project settings, and if you go back to play and if you look down, the clipping is actually gone. That's only thing that's there is because it's too close, and we can change that, but you can see that the clipping is pretty much gone. And of course, if you go back here and if you say 0, I don't think that's gonna work, but this will require us to move this a little bit further to the right and left. Now you can see that, you can see the butt of, or at least you can see the stock of the gun, and the clipping is pretty much gone. But I think it's a good idea to keep it at 1, and that's about it. So and we'll revisit the placement of the AK at a later time, but for now I think at least we have, we are running around with a gun and we are not shooting anything yet. So in the next few videos we're going to start to learn how to shoot, from the weapon itself, and that's pretty good, not bad at all. So that's about it.